Welcome back to Storytime with Pookie. Relax, grab a snack and enjoy. I almost didn't share this. Not because I'm scared, though I am, but because I hate reliving it. Every time I think about what happened, my stomach knots up and I can feel that same cold sweat on the back of my neck. This happened about a year ago, when I was living in a smaller city on the outskirts of Delhi, working late shifts at a tech support center. My shift ended around 2:30 a.m., and I usually shared a company cab with two other coworkers. But that night, both of them had called in sick. So, I decided to book an Uber. It was raining, and I was already irritated. The app showed surge pricing, and no driver accepted for over 15 minutes. I was about to just call my dad and ask him to pick me up when a driver finally accepted. His name was Deepak. Profile picture looked normal older guy, maybe late 40s, glasses. Rating was decent. I didn't think much of it. When the car pulled up, it was a dark blue Maruti Dzire. Not too clean, but not suspicious either. I got in the back seat, gave a quick polite good evening, and put in my headphones. We were about 10 minutes into the ride when I noticed we weren't going the usual route. Instead of turning onto the bypass, we took a left into a smaller service road, narrow, unlit, and filled with potholes. I pulled out one earbud. "Sorry," I said, leaning forward a little. "Is there a diversion?" The driver didn't answer right away. He just kept staring straight ahead. Then he said, "Shorter route. GPS says faster." But his phone screen mounted on the dash still showed the main highway. I think the app's saying it different way," I said, trying to keep my voice light. Non-confrontational. He didn't respond. I texted my dad. "In cab. Took weird route. Will ping when home." Another 5 minutes passed. We were now completely off any main roads. It looked like a half-developed industrial zone, empty buildings, shuttered shops, no lights, no traffic. I checked the Uber app. It still showed we were 12 minutes from my house. But now the car icon was barely moving. It felt wrong. All of it. I took out my phone again and pretended to be on a call. Loudly. "Yeah, Papa, almost there. I'm sharing location now. Can you stay downstairs?" The cab driver took a weird road. I watched the rearview mirror to see his reaction. He didn't flinch. Just kept driving. His hands tight on the steering wheel. Then, without warning, he turned into a dirt road and killed the headlights. My stomach dropped. "Stop the car," I said sharply. "I'll get off here." "Nothing." "Stop." I said stop the... He slammed on the brakes so suddenly I lurched forward. I grabbed the door handle, but it wouldn't budge. Child lock. He turned around for the first time, and I'll never forget his face. It wasn't anger. It wasn't fear. It was calm. Too calm. "You shouldn't have called anyone," he said. His voice was almost disappointed. Then he reached down, beside the driver's seat, for something. I didn't wait to see what. I threw myself across the seat, kicking the center console, screaming as loud as I could. I pounded on the glass, praying anyone would be nearby. By some miracle, a set of headlights appeared behind us. Another car, approaching slowly. Probably a local on their way home. The man hissed something under his breath, turned the key, and hit reverse. But in that moment, I managed to unlock the door manually and throw myself out. I landed on the gravel hard, skinned my elbow, tore my jeans, but I didn't stop running until I reached the other car. I banged on the hood like a maniac. The driver, a young guy in a Scooty raincoat, opened the door, startled. I screamed at him to call the police. By the time we looked back, the blue Dzire was gone. The police were sympathetic but tired. They said all the right things. "We'll look into it. Thank you for reporting. Please stay safe," but I could tell they didn't expect to find him. The license plate on the app. Stolen. The name and photo? Fake. I contacted Uber. They apologized and refunded the ride. That's it. No follow-up. No explanation. Just another warning buried in an endless feed of headlines no one reads. The worst part? 2 weeks later, I got a call from an unknown number around 3 a.m. I was half asleep and answered without thinking. All I heard was breathing. And then a man's voice. Next time, don't scream. Click. I changed my number. Moved to a different part of town. Started carpooling with verified coworkers only. To this day, I don't use ride-sharing apps. Ever. People laugh at me for it. Say I'm paranoid. Dramatic. But if you've ever been alone in a car with someone who doesn't see you as a person, just a problem to be handled, you know that kind of fear changes you. So yeah, if you're listening to this late at night, waiting for your Uber, and something feels off, don't get in. Let's not meet.